What you're about to see is a group of small business owners helping Claire to address the primary issue of getting in front of the right people.
Well, welcome everybody. We're here for Claire's session today, where we're going to look at the challenge that Claire faces in her business right now. So let's just start this bit with some open questioning, as I say, in terms of let's try and draw out of Claire a bit more that we don't currently know about her business. Okay,
well,
so
the obvious first question is for you just to define what you believe is the right sort of client for your business and briefly tell us why.
Okay, the right type of client for us, it's taken us a little while to really understand what that actually looks like, but we now definitely have it down to a T. The right type of client is somebody who has somewhere between about 20 employees all the way up to about 200.
One of the things I think would be interesting to ask is, of your ideal clients, if you were to say to them, what is it that you love about what we do? What do you think they would say in their words about what they really love about your proposition?
The reason our clients love us is because we're not suited and booted, stuffy policy writers. That's not what we do. We're not a faceless voice at the end of a telephone going through a flowchart. We fully get to grips with the business. We totally understand it and what it is trying to achieve. And then regardless of what service they're using, we will make sure that we're delivering something that meets their objectives.
How much of your time currently do you spend working on as opposed to in the business?
That's changed recently. Up until, about the middle of last year, it was about 60% in and 40% on. And now I'd say it's 70% on and 30% in. In terms of the actual sales and what we call new business development side, there's 3 of us who all have some level of responsibility for that now. It was one of the things that we realised that actually I'm quite good at, and so about 2 years ago I brought that back under me. I'd actually delegated responsibility to all of the consultants for that, but it wasn't working, so I brought, because we didn't have anything in place that they actually tangibly understood.
Finding that quite limiting because that's just you.
Yeah.
That's just you doing the marketing.
Absolutely. If I got run over by a bus, how would we get clients in? That's
why
this is
critical.
Wouldn't
be worried at that point, would you?
No, I wouldn't be, but they all might be worried for their jobs. And that's, it is a critical risk factor. But me holding things up, it could be a massive critical risk factor, and so that's one of the reasons why we have to address it. We have to find a different way of doing it.
Right. Peter, come to you.
Claire, you've talked about networking. If you didn't network, what else would you be doing as a business, not just you, but as a business, to generate awareness of what you do and find leads?
That's a good question. I keep hearing that we should be doing more with things like LinkedIn and with Twitter and building kind of like a profile in the marketplace so that people subconsciously become aware of us. I don't think we're the size of business that would do advertising, for example, because we're just not of that size.
But what do you do at the moment apart from networking?
We have done, we send out a newsletter, so we send out a quarterly newsletter to anybody that we've met virtually through the networking, or anybody who is, anyone who's an existing client or has used our services in the past, or that we've met and has expressed an interest in receiving it, obviously. We also do, or have done, some direct mail campaigns. So, for example, we have done a postcard campaign that went out to our target audience. We bought a list of our target market. We sent out a postcard campaign that had jelly babies on the front, and one had his head chopped off and it said, "Are you cutting heads?" And it was about the fact that we could help with redundancy. Okay. The jelly baby campaign was very interesting. We actually won 4 clients from that. I mean, it cost me about 200 quid. Yeah. We won 4 clients from that for the outsourced HR side of our business. But we also had 2 complaints, which we'd never had complaints on a marketing campaign before, so I was devastated by those. One was from a PR agency and one was from a marketing agency that said that the marketing campaign went completely against our brand. and that they felt that it was inappropriate and etc. So I was quite upset by that. I said did take it quite badly, but we won 4 clients, so it seems swings. I don't know what I can take from that. It seems like swings and roundabouts, really.
Guys, excellent. We're going to go around and we're just going to give Claire the benefit of our thoughts, experience and observations. So if I were you, Claire, I would, or words to that effect is where I'd like you to start. And to make it easy, Peter, let's start with you.
To be different, if I were you, I would work with your core group of people who get you, because you said not everybody gets you, so work with that core group and explain how you are different and use them to get you your introductions and help you get into people who they think will know why you're different as well.
It's a great point, Peter, thank you. Jen?
If I were you, Claire, I would let your people carry on doing what they do, which is brilliant, and play to their strengths and close the deal, and I would engage a really brilliant marketing agency to help you bring to life the marketing values of being proactive, fresh and innovative, so that they can drive the warm leads in for you and you can then just convert them.
Good shout, Jen, thank you. Jay?
If I were you, Claire, I'd work on this 30-second pitch to make people understand exactly why they'd want to speak to you. I quite like the Naughty Nina approach, quite frankly, because it's a little bit of fun and it'll get people's interest. Have you got an employee like Naughty Nina or something like that? Yes, well, tell me about them. And that'll get them talking about the problems. Once they've talked about the problems, you'll be able to decide which bits of your skill set matches them, rather than you trying to tell them all your skill sets and not identifying which one they need.
Good stuff, Jay, thank you. Sharon, anything to add?
Yeah, if I were you, Claire, by your own admission, you said it's a little bit sporadic, so get a very, very structured approach with an overarching and segmentation. I'd also look at those areas where you're spending your time and look at what it's bringing, and particularly to go into the PR and creative industries, because they will appreciate Naughty Nina, whereas the professional services might balk at it because it's a step too far. And I've really developed the profiles of those 2 other guys in the team. They need to be, they're not going to be you, but we could get them to next level or 2.
Good, I think, Claire, just something to add from me. I think whilst it's noble to want the rest of the team to get involved and to embrace, and they should, I can't help but think that this is still your primary responsibility. I think you have to lead from the front. I think you have to identify what that proposition is. As Jay was saying, I think you have to identify that connector base, as Peter suggested. So I think it's still going to come back to you, maybe to establish that process and then engage 2 or 3 of the key members of the team to help drive that through, so it isn't just you on your own. So be bold.
Yeah.
Be quite different.
Definitely.
Being
Fresh.
the same gets you nowhere.
Yep.
You've done some, you say you've upset some people already with your Jelly Babies campaign. Or bring the Jelly Babies back.
Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Terrified the life out of me.
We'll eat the heads off for you if you want.
Gets people talking.
And never work with that marketing agency.
I think also, Claire, I'd be inclined to bring Naughty Nina to life. If she exists, then she needs a life of her own. So we talked a little bit about social media, we talked about blogging potentially. Give her a life. Think about whether it's consistent in your collateral, your web stuff, or your digital content. But as Jen said, a creative agency could have some fun with Naughty Nina and probably Jelly Babies as well.
And I think, as we've all said, we all have all met a Naughty Nina. So all your people you want to meet, they will have a Naughty Nina.
It made us laugh as well.
Say yes.
And we're all business people, so it's like, well, business people like it. Well, we did. So the chances are most of them will, because it's funny, it's not dull. A lot of networking people, first come out and I think something a bit dull. Like, be different. That's an exciting kind of make me laugh before I even discover who you are or what you do.
So at its most extreme, I can see HR consultancies could give me a bullet point list of all the things they do, boring, and you've got the Naughty Nina story of all the same things, but it's real and it's something people can engage with. Not a list of bullet points that we do that. Suddenly you've got some stories to tell.
Guys, great thoughts. Lots of input, Claire, for you, I think.
Yeah, gosh, thank you.
We'll get into that in due course, but for now, everybody, thank you so much for your time. Really good session. Thank you.
Thank you.